What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another prediction video here on the channel. We're coming down to the end of the season. 8 games left. Some teams have 7. The playoff race is real. So let's go ahead and we're just going to jump right into it. First up, we have Austin FC versus LAFC. Currently, Austin are 2 wins, a draw, 2 losses in the last 5, where LAFC are 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5. This is a 1-2 matchup. In the West there, LAFC's first, Austin is second. They are at 2Q Stadium. These two teams have never drawn against each other. Austin have won 1 of the matchups, and LAFC have won 3. Currently, LAFC are averaging 2.1 goals a game, but I don't believe that they scored 2 goals in this. I think that they're going to kind of relax, just coast into the playoffs. They'll win a couple games here at the end of the season, but I think that they might coast. And I believe that Austin FC win this game 2-1 there at Q2 Stadium. So moving on to our next game, which is the last game on Friday. So these first 2 games are on Friday night. First up, we have Portland Timbers versus Seattle Sounders. Currently, Portland are 3 draws and 2 losses in the last 5, and Seattle are currently 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. These teams are currently sitting 9th and 10th in the table there in the West. They are 1 point away from the 7th spot and 3 points away from that 6th spot. So on that, I believe that Portland might make the playoffs, maybe because that first 7, the top 7 there are pretty strong this year. And I do believe that Seattle will not make the playoffs this year. They might go on a little bit of a run here at the end of the season, but it might just be like a 1 or 2 gamer. So I don't know. It's hard with being that close in the race. Currently, Portland haven't won a match in their last 5 attempts, and they haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 7 games. But also on top of that, Seattle have not won an away game in their last 5. Because these two teams are fighting for a playoff spot, I believe that it's going to be a good game. I believe that this game is going to end in a 2-2 draw there at Providence Park. So next up, we have Minnesota United versus Houston Dynamo, the poor Houston Dynamo. They unfortunately just have crashed. They have no chance of making the playoffs. And Minnesota are pretty much a set for the playoffs. They are currently 4th in the table. Right now, Minnesota United are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in the last 5, and Houston are 1 draw, 4 losses in their last 5. Minnesota haven't lost to the Houston Dynamo in the last 6 matches, 4 wins, 2 draws, but they haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 5 matches. And of course, Houston haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 10, and they have not won in their last 5 attempts. So I believe that Minnesota will win this game pretty easily. They're at home, and I think that they win 2-0 over Houston Dynamo. Moving on, we have Charlotte FC versus Toronto FC. Currently, Charlotte are 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5, and Toronto are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5. Currently, they are 10th and 11th in the table, just outside of the playoffs, again, because Charlotte are 3 points away from 7th place, but Toronto is 5 points. I don't think Toronto will make the playoffs. I think Charlotte are going to work hard to get to it, but I don't know if they'll make it either, because again, even the top 7 there in the East, that's a pretty strong 7. These teams have only played 1 time before this. They played in Toronto, and Toronto won that game 4-0. So I think with this one, though, they are at Bank of America Stadium, and I believe that Charlotte win this game very closely, and it ends in a 1-0 win for them at home. Next up, we have New York Red Bulls versus Inter Miami. Currently, the Red Bulls are 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses in the last 5, and Inter Miami are 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. Currently, these 2 teams set 4th and 6th in the table. I think that both of these teams make the playoffs. Inter Miami have turned it around a good bit here in these last couple weeks. And in actually a couple weeks, I mean probably 6 or 7. I mean, currently they are unbeaten in the last 5. I think that they make the playoffs pretty easily and stay there. Because their team is right there. I mean, it's crazy how close that that bottom of the playoff table is. These two teams have not drawn against each other. Red Bull have won 3 of the matches. Inter Miami have won 2. So this one was difficult for me to pick. I think that Red Bull, again, they struggle at home. Inter Miami is kind of on fire-ish. They drew against Montreal. They beat number 3 NYCFC 2 weeks ago, and then they beat Toronto FC last week. And I think that Inter Miami go on the road and win this just to solidify their playoff spot a little more. And I think that they win this game there at Red Bull Arena 2-1 against the Red Bull. So next up, we have the Battle of Ohio. We have FC Cincinnati versus the Columbus Crew. Currently, Cincinnati are 1 win and 4 draws in the last 5. And Columbus are 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss in their last 5. Currently, Columbus Crew are 7th in the table. FC Cincinnati are 9th, but it's a 1-point difference. These two teams against each other, FC Cincinnati have only won twice. They have drawn 3 times, and the Crew have won this matchup 5 times. And Columbus have won the last 2 against FC Cincinnati, and the Columbus Crew are unbeaten in their last 6 away matches. Also to put into that, Columbus Crew, with the last 2 games they did win against FC Cincinnati, both of those were at home. But I think this is going to be a high-scoring game just because both teams are going to push. Crew want to solidify their playoff spot, where FC Cincinnati are going to want to get into the playoffs. I believe that FC Cincinnati win this game 3-2 at home at TQL Stadium. Moving on, we have the number 1 spot in the East, the Philadelphia Union versus Colorado Rapids. Currently, the Union are 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5, whereas Colorado Rapids are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5. They are currently sitting 10th, I believe, 11th in the West there. So it's still open for anything there. These two teams head-to-head. Philadelphia are 2 wins, there's 6 draws, and Colorado are actually leading this series with 4 wins over the Union. Colorado, though, have not kept a clean sheet in their last 6 matches, and I think Union are just too good at home there at Subaru Park, and I think that they win this game. I'm going to have to go 3-1 over Colorado. Colorado is going to push to try to tie it up 2-2, but late Philadelphia is going to put in another one to make it 3-1 to solidify that win. Next up, we have Chicago Fire versus Montreal. Currently, Chicago Fire are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in the last 5, and Montreal are 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. Montreal are currently 2nd, whereas Chicago Fire are 12th. Unfortunately, I don't think Chicago will make it into the playoffs, even though they're so close, and I was hoping that they would. But I just don't think it's going to happen because Chicago, they haven't scored in their last 2 home matches. Montreal ranked 3rd from home. And the last 2 times Montreal have won against Chicago, one was at home, one was away at Soldier Field. They are at Soldier Field here, but I think that this game ends up in a 1-1 draw there at Soldier Field. Next up, we have Sporting Kansas City versus San Jose Earthquake. Currently, Kansas City are 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5. San Jose, 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Currently, San Jose is 12th in the table, Kansas City 14th. I don't know if they even have a chance to make the playoffs, and they won't. Neither one of them will. With this game, though, I'm just going to make this a quick one. I think that Kansas City actually win this game 2-0 there at Children's Mercy Park. So next up, we have FC Dallas versus Real Salt Lake. Currently, FC Dallas are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in the last 5. Real Salt Lake, 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5. FC Dallas are currently 3rd in the table. Real Salt Lake, 5th in the table in the West there. I don't think either team has anything to worry about for the playoffs. Real Salt Lake might have a little bit to worry about, but I think they're pretty clear. They are at 38 points, but I think that they're pretty clear. They've been pretty consistent this year in that sense of staying in the top 4 or 5. So FC Dallas and Real Salt Lake have not drawn any of their last 3 matches against each other. Real Salt Lake haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 5 matches. The last time that these two teams played, FC Dallas won on the road 1-0. And here, I think this is going to be like goals galore. I don't know why. I think there's going to be 6 goals in this match. And I think that FC Dallas win 4-2 there at Toyota Stadium. Moving on to our last match on Saturday, we have Vancouver Whitecaps versus Nashville SC. Currently, the Whitecaps are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in the last 5. And Nashville are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5. Nashville are 6th in the table. Vancouver are 8th in the table. And it's still a very close race. Whitecaps are 2 points away from Nashville. So if they could sneak in a win here at home, it'd be a good chance for them to make the playoffs. But I don't believe that will happen. I believe that this match ends in a 2-2 draw there at BC Place. So moving on to our first matchup of Sunday, it's Atlanta United versus DC United. Currently, Atlanta are 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss in the last 5. DC currently 1 draw and 4 losses. I apologize. These two teams are rounding up the bottom of the table for the East. Atlanta are 13th and DC United are 14th. DC United have no chance of making the playoffs, but Atlanta have a little chance, just a little. They are sitting at 30 points. The 7th place team have 35, so they're only 5 points away. These two teams have never drawn against each other. Atlanta have won 7 games, and DC United have won 6 of them. Atlanta have won the previous 3 matches against DC United, and then DC United haven't scored in their last 5 matches, and they haven't scored in their last 5 away matches. With that being said, I think that Atlanta is going to take that step closer to making the playoffs. I think they get the win here against DC, and I think it might be a 2-0 victory there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Moving on, we have Orlando City versus NYCFC. Currently, Orlando City are 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5, and New York City FC are 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses in their last 5. NYCFC are 3rd in the table. Orlando are 5th in the table there in the East. New York is clear. They're making the playoffs no matter what. Orlando's sitting in that weird, 5-point area that could be, won or lost for that. Those last, 3 spots there in the East playoffs. It's 36, so 5th place is 36 points, Inter Miami 36, 35, 34, 34, 32, 30, 30, and then I think another 30. So very close race there for the last 3-ish spots. Anyway, moving on here. Orlando have scored 9 goals in their last 5 matches. NYCFC have kept the most clean sheets at 13 this season. I did not know that. So that was a fun fact for me. I knew it was up there, but I didn't know it was that much. I think, though, that to help Orlando out, I think that they win this game. I think that they're going to bring their best foot forward. I know that NYCFC are struggling to score. They did beat Chicago 2-0. I was surprised by that. I thought Chicago might upset them. But I think that they're missing Castellanos a lot. And I think that Orlando City win this game 2-1 there at Explorer Stadium. And that brings us to our last matchup of the weekend. It's New England Revs versus LA Galaxy. Currently, the Revs are 2 wins, 2 draws, a loss in the last 5. And LA Galaxy are 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. Currently, the Revs are 8th in the table in the East, and LA Galaxy are 7th in the West. I think that these two teams this game is going to end in a draw at 2-2 because both teams need to make that push to solidify the playoffs and to get into the playoffs. I know that the Revs are pretty good at home, but I think that this ends in a draw, and I'll go 2-2 actually. I'm going to go 2-2 draw there at Gillette Stadium. That is it for this video. Please tell me in the comments below what you think, who you think is going to make the playoffs or not. So give me your 7. Also, please give the video a thumbs up if you like it. join the Discord. I have a couple people in the Discord as of right now. I want to get that rolling because I want to talk to more people. I want us all to come together. We can talk more than just MLS. I watch the Premier League. I keep up with the Scottish Premier League, and the World Cup is coming up. Of course, we're going to talk about that. So yeah, comment down below who you think is going to make the playoffs, or join the Discord and tell us there. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.